Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech, answer your questions live. If you have any question you want to ask, just ask in the comments section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Hey guys, this is us out on Christmas Eve, but next week I will not be able to do the show, so I thought I'd do a little quick show on New Year's Eve. If you are going to be with us when the ball drops in less than an hour in the East Coast, then great. If not, hey, I'll see you in 2024. So there is a lot of news on the Galaxy S24, and I just kind of wanted to let it out before 2 weeks happens because I'm expecting as soon as tomorrow, possibly, we might start getting pre-order stuff, or at least the reservation for the pre-order to start happening. And that is because Samsung is going to be releasing this relatively soon. Now, the release itself should happen at the end of the month to beginning of February, but the announcement should happen January 17th. So basically, I'm going to be gone for possibly the next 2 weeks. Definitely for 1 week, I will not. I will not be. I will be at CES on the 7th, so I will not be doing a live show. But the next time I might do a show is the 14th, and then the 17th, the phone unpacked event comes out. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But on the meantime, let's go ahead and go over everything you should know about the Galaxy S24 and, of course, some other tech news. So, first and foremost, the Galaxy S24 series, here are all the specs in their entirety, just so you have them from the get-go. Now, one of the biggest changes we are seeing is that with the Galaxy series, all of them are probably the brightest screens I think to date. I don't know if any screens have gotten to 3,000 nits. It's kind of like a game at this point of how bright can your screen get. You know, the Note, I think, was the first one. I want to say the Note uh, 7. I think it was the Note 7, if not the Note 8, was the first one to hit like 1,000 nits. And then like everything after that was like, 1,200, 1,500. Then we've gone recently into 2,000, 2,300, 2,500. This one's going to be 2,600. Again, I don't know. I can't say for sure if that's the most. I don't know if a phone has hit 3,000 now, but it is getting insanely bright now with the newer technologies that are coming out and with the more refined OLEDs out there. They're just getting to be brighter and brighter at a cost-effective rate. So first and foremost, that's going to be the thing that is across the board, as well as LTPO refresh rate 1 to 120 hertz across the board, even on the standard S24. So all of that is going to be the same. Regular S24 will still be full HD. S24 Plus and full and S24 Ultra will be the 120 hertz QHD or 1440p resolution. Now, what about the cameras? So the biggest camera differentiator this year is definitely going to be with the I was going to say the Note, the Ultra. The Ultra still has the 200 megapixel main camera, or what they called wide camera, but the biggest thing is they are opting out of the 10 times optical 12 megapixel sensor or 10 megapixel sensor. It might have been 10 megapixel sensor instead of the 10 one. We're going to have a 50 megapixel 5x telephoto. Now, I have kind of reserves about this because I will tell you, my Pixel has a 50 megapixel sensor. The OnePlus Open had a 50 megapixel 5x sensor. I still rather zoom to 10 times zoom with my S23 Ultra. So this is going to be a year later. This is going to be a big, change for Samsung. I don't know if it's going to be the right change. I really don't. Now, I think at 5x, it's going to look a lot better than it did before, right? Obviously. I don't even know why you have a 3x telephoto at that point, to be quite honest. I just, you could have a regular and a 5. Like, you don't need a 3x. Other than they don't want to change the body, maybe that's the main reason why, but I don't see what the point of the 3x optical zoom really is at that point. You have a 200 megapixel sensor. When is the camera going to switch to the 3x? Like, when would it be better for that? That's just my opinion, but that's a really why would you even keep a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto? I just don't understand. Maybe a 50 megapixel 3x, okay, like yeah, then the 3x versus the 200 megapixel sensor, I know it is going to be compressing it obviously to a smaller image, but still it's getting all the data from the 200 megapixel sensor even when compounded. So I'm very curious of why. But I'm really curious to see the big reason for me why the 10x is usually better than the 5x2 is not only for photos but for video. Because for video you're going to be using digital zoom on this 5x. Now, again, maybe it should be better, but digital really cuts in, especially when it comes to video. The processing needed for it, I don't think is there yet to make up for everything. So that's my opinion, but yeah, that's one thing that we are getting. Um, the big change too that is not seen on here is that apparently the S24 Ultra is also going to add 4K 120p. Now that is not shown here, but apparently that was a later add-on. I don't know if it. My guess is that if it does happen, it's going to be one of two things. One, it's going to be not at launch, so it'll be later on down the line. That's why it's not in this part. Or two, and I feel the more likely thing, that it might be a pixel kind of technology where they got boost video. Boost video did come out later after the pixel launch, but more importantly, boost video is only there if you happen to have it if you have it overnight. So it's a processing that isn't right away. It's something that you literally have to wait till the next day to get. So that could be a possibility. I do like that we're getting 45-watt fast charging on the Plus and on the Plus and the Ultra. 256 starting across, oh, not across the board, sorry. The regular standard one still comes out at 128. Everything else is at 256. Also, I'm glad that we're getting UFS 4.0, always faster internal storage, good to have. And then we are getting four colors, black, gray, and probably only online, violet and yellow titanium as well. Um, I don't know why yellow. I'm very curious to see what that does. What's up with my green Samsung? But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I am probably going to get black unless this gray is really outstanding. I just see myself getting black, especially because I think gray titanium is going to be the off-white. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But that is everything coming in from the specs route of the Galaxy S24 series. But then we have a few more things. Pricing. It looks like Samsung is going to reduce price, which I think we can all agree is a great thing to hear. Oops, sorry about that. Is a great thing to hear. So, um, the S23 in Europe was $949. The S24 in Europe is going to be $899. So that's a $50 difference. The Plus was $1199. Now it's going to be, oh, actually this one is, yeah. So yeah, this one's $50 less again. 1149. Let's set 1199. And then finally 1399 first. No, this one is more expensive. So interesting. So the two S24 and the S24 Plus are cheaper, and the S23 Ultra, or sorry, S24 Ultra is $50 more expensive. I don't know how I feel about that. I think going cheaper on these two is great. I think, if we can see a cheaper price point, great. Now, this could just be that they are giving Europe a break, so we'll have to wait and see once we get the US pricing. But it looks like it was a 50% or $50 reduction on the lower tier models of the S24 and the S24 Plus, and the S24 Ultra got a $50 increase. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that it could be a possibility that this is going to be similar to what we get in the US. If it would be at 849, I think that's a pretty good statement for Samsung to put out there. Like, hey, it's cheaper now for here than it would be at an iPhone, than it would be at all of these other brands that are nipping at the heels. to try to get a cheaper price point, like the Pixel, like the OnePlus series, and all these other ones. If Samsung could meet them for the lower tier models, for the S24 and S24 Plus, and yet for the Ultra, their flagship one, right, that completes with a Pro Max, you probably have a little bit more leeway of like, I'm gonna buy it no matter what kind of mentality, which unfortunately I'm going to buy no matter what kind of mentality. So we'll have to wait and see if it works. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on that one. I am hoping that we do get a $50 price reduction in the US as well for the Plus and the regular. But do you think that'll match, or do you think it's just giving Europe a break and getting it similar pricing to the US pricing? Let me know what you guys think. All right, then we are getting some other things which are very similar. And again, this phone is supposed to be very AI rich, right? Very AI heavy. And we're going to see to be a lot more with this one. So, night photography zoom. So, this is going to be basically better low light zoom quality. Do that 50 megapixel sensor being bigger, as well as being a bigger aperture, as from what we're hearing. We'll have to wait and see if the aperture part is true, but love to see it. Remove object and move objects. They've already had the ability to remove, not move, remove, but not move. But what this is going to require is generative editing. Just like Google's video boost, this will essentially, you can do it, and then Samsung has to be logged in, so the processing is done through their servers to do the edit. Very similar to how Google edits, and very similar to how a lot of these AIs are going to start editing, so we'll have to see that more and more as it comes along. But let me know what you guys think with these. I am curious to see how much the AI really works, because that is a very curious thing to see if it does work indeed as well as it says it will. All right. And then pre-orders, when it comes to these, the last bit of difference was, wait, what was, oh yeah, the 4K 120 hertz. This is I talked about earlier, and again, just the AI features that are coming to it. But it looks like that we are going to get a lower tier price from what we're hearing, but we'll have to wait and see. At least it's in Europe, but there you go. And then I move on to the next bit of news, which kind of struck me because I've always had a soft spot for this company. So ZTE, to a lesser degree, I would say. Well, actually, I think ZTE would be more popular than Nubia. Nubia was their division in the U.S. essentially that did very well. It's also overseas, but basically in Europe and the U.S., Nubia is the exact brand of it. And then you also had another one, which is Red Magic. Now, Red Magic gaming phone has been kind of around for a long time, been doing really good. If you want a gaming phone for a really good price, I would suggest that it's just always a good quality. Just to give you an idea, let's just see right now. Magic. Let's see. Not the 8 Pro. Let's go to the 9. The 9 Pro has the latest generation processor. So the same one that everyone else is gonna get soon, meaning the what do you call it? The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and it's gonna have, let's see, buy now. Oh, I have to. Dang, it's still not available. I thought it was available as of the 31st, but I guess not. Oh, maybe that was only early access, which I do have. I don't have time to get. But so 799, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 storage. I mean, it's a great like for specs for what you get. This phone is absolutely amazing for everything it has. It's just always really cutting edge on specs. So their regular division is actually coming out with another phone at $600. This is going to have a lot of specs that you may really like, and apparently it's going to have the best ultra wide camera ever. And the reason why they have stuck like so much for me as a brand, and again, so 599 will get you 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig storage. It's funny because what 16 and 512 will be closer to this one, right? So, and it lines up for their pricing for the most part. Now, this one does have a better processor, so if you do care more about the camera, maybe get the Nubia. But if you care more about the processor, then get the Red Magic. But the reason why this company has always stuck to me because of one phone they created a long time ago that I still have a soft spot for. This is one of the best phones I've ever thought of as a concept. I really wish there was a follow up version of it. This is a phone with regular quality, kind of curved display on the back, is the other side of the phone with the camera. So you actually do not have a bad selfie camera. You only have one triple set cameras with just an amazing tier selfie that you get from an actual high quality rear camera as opposed to, these little cameras that we accept for selfies. Um, and yeah, like it, like this rear camera is able to process all this lighting no problem. So I'd always love this, and keep in mind this is a couple years back. I actually am curious what specs this has. But yeah, this was a really cool concept that Nubia came out with a long time ago. I've always kept it just because it's one phone I don't want to sell. I love the concept of it so much. The biggest downside of it was, and by the way, when you flip it, it changed to the right display. Uh, it was such a cool concept that I absolutely loved it. So I would be curious to see this, and especially it having the best ultra wide camera out there. It is going to have some things that this article kind of points out, which is you don't get many software updates. I think I got a total of 2 software updates on this phone, and that was it because obviously, it doesn't sell as much as it does in China and other markets, so they don't support it as much overseas. So that is a downside. I think this is running. Let's see, Android 9. So yeah, a while back. I think it would probably started with 8, and so it only got one OS version update. So yeah, definitely an older phone, but I just love the concept of much. I would be interested in this. Let me know if you guys would want me to check out a phone like this. Let me know in the comment section. Again, that's the main highlights of it is that it has the best ultra wide. For the price, it does have a Snapdragon Gen 1 plus. The same one that was on the Fold 4. But the biggest thing is that it does have the largest ultra wide of any flagship on there. And with an f1.8, that is such a good quality for an ultra wide and something we don't see as often. So I really do like that and appreciate that. Let me know what you guys think though in the comment section. Is this something you would be interested in me checking out in the future? Let me know. All right. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I will say that I did not think it was going to happen, but it did. Apple Watches, Watch 9 and Ultra are now banned in the US. Um, so yeah, it's here. Now the reason why I said that I didn't think it was going to happen, I said a couple weeks ago, when this happened was Samsung and the iPhone 4. Samsung successfully banned the iPhone 4 from being sold in the U.S. It got to the president's desk and it was vetoed. I thought it would have been the same, to be honest with this way, just because um, some people did point out some good things though. Back then, it was a 4G antenna feature, which was seen more as an essential tool. Like we need 4G to work, so we cannot ban something because of 4G, right? But in this one, it is just a blood oxygen level, which can be read multiple ways. But what Apple did, I think, is the reason why it got banned. They literally asked the company, hey, we want to work with you on having a blood oxygen sensor on a future Apple Watch. Great, great. Apple then poached 30 of their employees from that company and made their own patents with blood oxygen technology that were almost identical. And yeah, like the company was like, no, like what the hell? And it took a long time because I think that was on the Apple Watch. The first sensor was on the Apple Watch 6. So this probably happened, I'm guessing, around the Apple Watch 4. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to see. Will it get resolved? From what the company says, which we'll see, right? But they're saying that it cannot be fixed with a software update. The hardware is still on there. You cannot sell as long as the hardware is on there. Apple says a software update should suffice for it to be able to be sold. Ultimately, the the ITC will have the ultimate say so. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to remember what the company's name was. Masio. Sorry, Mazimo. So yeah, they are the ones that did that. All right. Then we move on to something that's supposed to be announced in February, but it has already leaked, and that is the Nothing Phone 2A. And it's a very curious looking thing. I don't know if it's good looking. It's taking its continued concept and making something different, but I don't know if it's good. I'm more interested in what the specs will provide and how it'll run and what price we're going to be if it is around 400. That is an interesting proposition. But I can say with this, it does not look like it's going to have wireless charging, which I'm kind of about. For $400, I want wireless charging. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This will be kind of interesting. I I don't think this one will do well, but I think if it does okay, I think the 3A in a year might be a better step forward. I don't see this one doing that well, and I personally don't like the design. But let me know what you guys think. If this entire thing is a speaker, I'm kind of interested. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right. In some other news, we did have the Samsung Wallet driver's license get its first state. So Arizona, you can now show your ID through Samsung Wallet, and I think this is going to be something that trends more and more. I'm curious if Google Wallet will get on this. The reason why Samsung Wallet and Apple Wallet are more secure is because their encryption is done on the phone. It never goes into the cloud, whereas Google Wallet does go into the cloud. Um, Now, I will say that I think I even have forgotten about Samsung Wallet and switched more to Google Wallet at this point. But it's just something that is a really cool adoption that they are starting to get now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I just switched back over to my Galaxy S24 after leaving my OnePlus open. My thoughts on the OnePlus Open. I did do a video on 5 ways to make it better. If you haven't checked that video out now, but I will say ultimately, if that phone had Samsung software, it would probably be the perfect phone. But yeah. And then finally, one last bit of news that I found kind of interesting that we haven't seen progress that much for a little bit, so I'm kind of excited about this one. The Galaxy Book 3 Go, which will premiere at CES next week, is going to have the Snapdragon C Plus Gen 3 with 5G connectivity. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is that I feel like we kind of have let go of 5G technology on laptops, and I still always think it's like a great feature, like to possibly have, just so you could have internet everywhere you go. Now, the argument against it is, well, I can just hotspot my phone. Yeah, but then you'll take battery away from your phone. So it's an interesting thing to see, but I just think it was kind of interesting for the fact that in Korea at least it launched at $430, and if it gets to the U.S. at that price, I think that would be a really interesting price. The specs are lower tier, don't get me wrong, but I'm curious to see how this will work and if we kind of see a little bit of a resurgence or at least more 5G connectivity laptops, because why shouldn't most laptops have 5G at this point is my question. I guess that this made me ask, like, why shouldn't they all have it? It's not that much more, and especially there are so many Wi-Fi processors that could have both 5G and Wi-Fi built in, integrated together, connected. So, or soldered on, or basically one chip that covers both. That it could just be very easily done. So, curious to see how that turns out, and curious to see what other Galaxy books will be announced over the upcoming week. All right, guys, that was the news this week. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts about any of the articles, and I can go over them again. But as we get to your questions, start asking them in the comment section down below, and I will answer before the end of the show. Probably going to go on another 20 minutes just so I can let anyone from the East Coast get to their New Year's ball drop. And yeah, I will see you guys in 2024 for everyone else. But on the meantime, let's get to your questions. John Krupp, I hope I haven't missed the S24 talk yet. I'm super sorry I'm late. No problem. I can kind of go over it a little quick. Basically, the main things you need to know for the S24 Ultra, the telephoto camera is going to change to a 50 megapixel 5x optical instead of the 10 megapixel 10x optical that it used to have. The idea behind it is that it's going to be a bigger sensor, so it should be better in low light. There is also a rumor that we are going to be getting 4K at 120 frames per second, but it most likely will not be available at launch. The Ultra looks like it's going to get $50 more expensive compared to the S23 Ultra, coming in at $13.99 in Europe. This one's coming in at $14.49, so that one might be more expensive. However, the S24 Plus and S24 are getting $50 cheaper. So I think it's a smart move by Samsung to do that, to be quite honest, just because get the more affordable ones more affordable, and people that are going to buy the Ultra want the best phone ever will still pay the $50 extra, even though it begrudgingly, especially if Samsung gives some good trade-in values. I'm going to be trading in my S23 Ultra, obviously, for it, so I'm going to be game for it. We'll have to wait to see how it goes. I think that was everything. Oh, and yeah, it's going to have some stuff, including generative edit, which you will need an internet connection to use because it's going to be online editing, to be able to process it all. So yeah, those are the main things for the Ultra. January 17th is going to be the Unpacked event. Pre-orders, or sorry, reservation pre-orders will be on January 17th. Reservation for the pre-order could be as soon as tomorrow, actually, if not Wednesday. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm expecting it though at some point this week. We're gonna get the reservation for the pre-order. So look for that this week. All right. Sorry, just got something in my eye. Ah. All right. Uh, Not happy with the loss of 10 optical zoom. I think a lot of people are going to be like, we had something better than a lot of other people, so I don't know. Especially again, my argument is when it comes to video, that was a really great feature, and I've done lots of video at 10x optical zoom on that phone. So yeah, that's kind of I don't know. I'll have to wait to see how it goes. Um, Ricky, what do you think of the Red Magic Pro 9? Funny, I talked about that. I did not see your comment on that too. That's really cool. Yeah, man, I think it's a great looking phone. I've loved Red Magic in the past. Have always thought it was really good. I would love to check it out again. I don't know if I'll have the time to because unfortunately, like if I'd already had the Red Magic, I would have probably taken it to CES with me. I think I actually pitched their marketing department that like, hey, if you guys sent it to me before, then I could take photos at that event and get a lot of coverage with it. But they have always a very limited amount of their products they're able to ship. But I love Nubia and Red Magic. I've always thought, like, I mean, usually I call them the flagship killers every year because they are the ones that still keep that tradition alive. And yeah, for $799 for this phone is just, I mean, it just has so much to it. I don't think I can go into the specs here, which is kind of silly. Let me see if I can. Um, yeah, here we go. So in terms of the specs, it has a 1080p display, so not 1440, but it has like the fastest refresh rate you could ever hope to see on a phone in terms of touch ability and obviously a fast instant rate. Still very bright, 1,600. Again, it's not 2,000, but this is still $800 phone. So really good at it. It has a cooling fan built in that makes it cooler than any other device out there, really, for the price, because there is an ROG phone that does even do better, but it's more expensive. This one, again, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is the latest one out there. It comes in 12 or 16 gigs of RAM. It is UFS 4.0. Like, it is just a lot. And it has two 50 megapixel sensors, but its main thing was to make it a flat sensor, or essentially make the phone thicker by providing a thicker battery of 6,500 with an 80-watt charger And yeah, for $7.99, it's a really good deal. It really is. Here, let me see. Let me sign in. I'll share now if I can get this at a discount, and if any of you guys buy it, hey, maybe I just might get it. So yeah. Oh, you have to purchase it to get the referral link, I guess. Okay. So yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. I've thought about buying it. I really have. It's just I don't know. Not sure on it yet. All right. Let's see. The phone is crazy. Screen on the back of the phone. Yeah, no, this one was a one that I've had forever, but I've always loved the concept of the ability just to. By the way, two fingerprint sensors as well. So fingerprint sensor on this side of the phone, and a fingerprint sensor on this side of the phone. So yeah, it was a really cool concept that I just always loved. And again, from this side, it looks like a regular, typical phone. But when you turn it around and see that side, it's just really cool that you get, a full screen phone on this side. But the reason why is because one, this uses less battery as well, if you can guess that. And two, it's just really cool that you have the camera right there for a selfie. And by the way, this is actually better than than a foldable, because with a foldable you have to do this awkward thing, right? I can see myself while taking a photo but it's this awkward thing which just isn't as good. So it's just you're holding it a lot bigger, and it's just like you're holding it like this and trying to do the volume rocker and all this kind of stuff, so it's just not as good as having it the other way. All right. I'll catch the reply. I'm watching World Then. Hey, yeah, we'll talk about spoilers on that one for you. Oh, great. Another reason the cops say stop preaching when I'm trying to get my idea on the phone. That's too real, Russell. That's too real, man. What's your favorite widget icon pack? Honestly, I don't know. I always kind of copy it. Either getting the UI one widget pack or the Pixel widget pack. I like both of those. I guess I'm kind of simple in that way. But let me know what's yours. Maybe I should try them out. Um, how did you like the WWE event? I liked it a lot. Went for some friends. R. Rawson was one of them. Uh, you know, um, it was really funny. I loved just like cracking jokes or saying stuff. Like my daughter was thoroughly embarrassed because I would say things, and and people would laugh, and she's like, "Calm down, like stop talking. You're embarrassing me." So yeah, all that kind of stuff. But I loved it. It was a lot of fun, really great. Yeah, and we had box seats. They were a little bit further than I would have preferred. Like I think I would. I feel like I want to go back down closer to the ring now. After being in box seats, I will say obviously box seats are way more comfortable. Like the seat cushion yesterday in the Kia Forum Arena, so nice. Like better than any like stiff chair would be, kind of thing like that. But I will say I have to admit, like I feel like I would want to be closer to the ring next time. But really fun experience for sure. Um, 10 o'clock in my area. Oh, it's 8:40 in mine. Probably go another 10 minutes, guys, and we'll call it a night. I got my wife the Pixel 9. Wait, what? Pixel 8 Pro, right? I'm like, we're on Pixel 8. We're not on Pixel 9 yet. Wait, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, no, Pixel 8 Pro. You made me second guess for a second, man. I was like, wait, 8. Wait, no, it's not. It's the Pixel 8 Pro. I'm guessing you got her. I'm not used to Google phones. Do pictures one takes automatically store like Samsung? I got her the 512, and I won't have any storage problems. Yeah. So do when you take a picture, do they automatically store? Yes, they do. I will say though that you have so one great app you can get. I do not have my Pixel with me right now. It's in the living room. But is a Google Gallery app. So most people have probably never heard of this because it doesn't come on any phone pre-installed. Google has Google Photos on their phones. Google Gallery. So Google automatically puts the Google Photos app on your phone, but that shows a mixture of the photos on your phone and the photos saved to backup. So it can kind of be confusing. What you can install on your device is the Google Gallery app, which again does not come pre installed on any phone. And I think it should come more installed, especially for Pixel phones. But this is a much better way to organize and quickly look at your stuff instead of using Google Photos. And it has a really good editor too for your photos. It's just a really good app overall. Now, some of the Pixel specific edits you cannot do on the gallery app, so just know that going in. Like the magic eraser and certain things like that are only available through the Photos app, which kind of sucks. But I think for any good basic photo editing, this is fine. I like that this one has an auto feature for to auto edit your photo, as opposed to Google does not. They offer you different suggestions, but no auto feature. This one does. So I actually like that part better. But yeah, I would recommend downloading this so that she has no confusion. And like it says, it works offline as opposed to Google Photos, which will basically tell you like waiting to back up your photos. I would still, of course, use Google Photos for all of your photo taking backup. Just make sure you put data saver so you're not backing up the highest resolution photos and need to buy storage from Google after a while. But those would be my recommendations. But yeah, Google Gallery app, probably one I should do a video on because most people, I guarantee you, don't know about that one. Um, let's see. I'm already in 2025. Yeah, man. I mean, the Pro 9 isn't even in 2024 yet. Like, man, um, all right, 1,570 for a 512. Ouch. I really hope it's a good trade-in value. So do I. I mean, they have to do 1,000. I would say for me to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. I really use the 10x optical zoom at work to check truck numbers across the street. 3x doesn't have enough clarity to read numbers until I switch to the 10x. I agree. Theoretically, it should take better photos. I do believe that the 50 megapixel sensor on a 5x will be better than a 10x than a 10x optical zoom with a 10 megapixel sensor. And here's why. I believe the processing will save it. I do not speak the same for the video quality, but I believe the photos will actually be even better. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to compare them side by side. We'll see how it turns out. Uh, Ricky, I can't see you. How your tech videos have? Can't you see? Oh, Ricky, can you see how your tech videos has assisted me? Like it. I, it's funny. I had to say it, and then I was like, oh wait, that's what they're going for. Um, that's hilarious, by the way. Um, I went to eBay to find a Galaxy S Gear one with the curved display. Can't believe the price is high. Really? That's interesting. Your daughter loved the woo chants. No, she did not. No, she did not. But yeah, it was very funny. Sure. Daniel is a time traveler. By the way, oh, Bluetooth not working great after the last update on S22 Ultra. Anybody having issues? I'm not, man. I will say I'm about to, or I just switched back to the S23 Ultra literally like before this video. Use Smart Switch to take everything from the OnePlus Open and moved it back over here, just because for CES I just need tried and true. You know, I'm gonna use this for my video quality, and I'll use the Pixel for the photos, and that's what I'll do. And I didn't see the OnePlus as that much of a improvement on screen size for what I need, so went away from the foldable, went back to a standard. And I'll probably, I mean, stick with this one for what, 3 more weeks till I get the S24 Ultra. All right. But yeah, I've not heard any issues on the Bluetooth. Just kind of keep checking if there's any updates. And also check the Galaxy store, because sometimes certain things for the app can work with that as well. Do you still have the Flip 5? No, I did return that one, and I did get. It's funny because I had the Flip 5. It would have been perfect, but my brother didn't want it at the time, so I was like, all right, well, I'll return it. And then he ended up not liking the Razor as much, so I ended up getting him a Flip 4. It's just funny to me because I could have given him the Flip 5 instead of the Razor, and he actually liked the idea of the Razor at first. Retro, cool. Did not realize how much he liked Samsung over regular Google. So yeah, all right. But yeah, 3 minutes, guys. I'm gonna call it a night, so you can have your 10 minutes for New Year's. I see Florida is almost, and Virginia is almost at New Year's. So I want to leave you guys in 2023, and I'll see you guys again in 2024. Um, by the way, my goal was to do 10 videos before the end of the year. It was a little ambitious. I got 5 videos done, so you saw 2 of them come out already. Editing others, so they'll be coming out later this week. Ideally, I wanted to have closer to 10, but it looks like I'll have probably 7, I will say, out before CES, because I just wanted to have, new videos, because I know I wasn't going to be posting as much at the event. But what I will be posting is verticals. So I don't often ask, but if you guys can, make sure to hit the subscribe bell thing. And what that will allow for is for me to be able to make sure that I can actually get you guys all the videos, vertical videos that might go past you otherwise. But if you do hit that subscription bell, then hopefully you'll get notifications every time I'm posting those vertical videos over next week. Basically, entire CES for me is going to be Saturday to Saturday. It will be kind of crazy. It will be kind of maybe burn out a little bit, but it should be a lot of fun at the same time. All right, guys. I think I will wrap that up. Thank you so much for sticking with me for 2023. I think 2024 we're gonna officially cross 400,000 followers, so that'll be really great. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for sticking with me through, I will say, 2 slower productive years for me over the past 2 years. But I feel like I'm finding my footing back. I feel like I'm going to give you better quality, as you've seen with all the sponsored videos. One thing I will say is you're getting better quality from me now, and I'm hoping to continue that, and just better camera quality here, better looks, and yeah, just hopefully you will get more polished videos while still getting that kind of must know knowledge that I try to always bring you guys. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is me signing off for 2023. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube